After over 2 months of working from home, most of the state sector employees reported to their respective places of work yesterday. Over 1 million people are employed in the state sector, and to cater to their transportation needs, the interprovincial transportation services are also now in operation. Though the transportation service providers are urged to adhere to health and safety protocols, it doesn't look as if though the request is given much attention. Crowded buses and trains were a common sight both yesterday and today. The continuous warnings of the Delta variant of COVID-19 spreading in the community also looks to have fallen on deaf ears.
We very confidently could say that if you go in a crowded bus and then if they are infected people, right, definitely that is a source of spread of infection.
I would like to urge the authorities who are responsible for the provision of transport in Sri Lanka to look into the current problems where complaints are coming related to the overcrowding of transport vehicles, trains and buses. So I think they are efficient enough to manage this kind of thing because they have been doing this for many decades, managing transport facilities.
Since the 29th of July, Sri Lanka started to report daily caseloads in excess of 2,000. The number of cases detected on the 29th of July stood at 2,370. 2,460 new infections were confirmed on the 30th, while 2,177 were reported on the 31st. And on the 1st of August, the caseload was 2,510. Yesterday, there were 2,420 new cases detected from the country, making it the 5th consecutive day of new infections over 2,000. The Gampaha district recorded the highest number of new cases with 668. 286 infections were recorded from the Colombo district, while there were 274 new cases in the Kalutara district. That makes the Western province the worst affected, with a daily caseload of 1,228. The highest number of new infections outside the Western province yesterday came from Galle, with 270. A further 884 cases were recorded from the remaining 21 districts. 38 imported cases were also among yesterday's infections. As daily case numbers soar, medical experts continue to stress the importance of curbing the virus. They say that the dreaded Delta variant is contained in the Western province for the time being.
Now the curve that we had from April to, end of June sort of, was the Alpha variant. But now it is, this second surge is by Delta variant. It appears particularly in this Western province. This Delta variant, according to Professor Nilika Malavige, who does sort of studies, still hasn't spread widely to other provinces. So in Western province, epidemic surge is so high, particularly because it is so much uncontrollable, particularly because of this Delta variant. This Delta variant would very rapidly spread to other provinces. So it would be over the next 2-3 weeks or 2 months would be very critical.
Meanwhile, there was a new addition to the island's COVID treatment network today. A facility featuring 5 wards and 160 beds had been constructed by the Sri Lanka Air Force at the Colombo East Base Hospital in Mullairiyava. It was officially handed over to Minister of Health Pavitra Wanyaraja today by Commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Air Marshal Sudarshana Patirana. In the meantime, there were 1,902 COVID recoveries confirmed today, which takes the island's tally to 282,770. As for today, 2,423 new infections have been recorded so far, taking the number of active cases in Sri Lanka to 28,851. Various countries have used different strategies to combat the pandemic. Which method is best is anyone's guess. But ultimately, it all comes down to the individual.
In United States, they did not try to implement any mobility restrictions. Whereas in Sydney City, in Australia, even for a very low number, they locked down. So all these are relative things. So at this point of time, I think that we all have to be together. There is no point in blaming. And we all, as a nation, have to support each other and then to take maximum precautions to see. The responsibility is with all. Because however much you say, there is a nature that people behave. And there is a time that you could keep them under lockdown. There's an amount that a country could afford.
වීව එකතුණු උකුතේ එකක
රස උපරිමයි.